have Ash from Social Fever on the pod, and we're going to discuss a few little bits and bobs around just socials and also a bit of self-care stuff, because I feel like you're kind of the self-care queen, really.
Oh, thank you. I'm flattered.
So would you describe what you're about at Social Fever?
I guess the business started because I was keen to help other small businesses grow and have kind of the skill set in marketing, but also a creative mind to help tell their stories, I guess, online. Yeah, so our main kind of like values is to help small business owners, give them more time and more space, and look after their socials and their creative and some of their marketing as well.
Vibes.
Yeah,
Yeehaw.
it's fun.
How good. And what are your thoughts on the importance of story when it comes to socials?
So much.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing, and I think that's probably what we are best at as well, is like uncovering a brand's story and communicating that to their audience online. It actually amazes me how many businesses don't have their story or understand it or understand who their target audience is or who they're trying to communicate to.
Yeah.
I think that's something also really cool is when we do brand strategy and that sort of stuff, is kind of really like unpicking the brand and going deep into that psychology of the brand, of, you know, what's their story and what's their kind of emotion behind the story, because, I don't know, people buy products because of their connection to an emotion or a person or a story. Yeah. They're not buying the product necessarily because it's the coolest product. There's maybe some instances where that happens, but it's mostly around connection and emotion. So, yeah.
That's cool. So you're focused only on small businesses?
Yeah, I just feel that working with small businesses, it kind of keeps that fire in the belly going and creating the relationships with the brand owners and with the founders and knowing that we're helping them, you know, that's kind of what I thrive on and what makes me feel happy and like fills my cup.
Yeah,
so
genuinely stoked to kind of go there and meet up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like going to that next tier level, like yes, it probably could make the business easier to grow and scale and all these things. And not to say that medium to large size businesses don't have like great values and missions as well. Yeah. But yeah, I just think those personal relationships are so important.
Cool. Sis, you're killing it. So good. What does a day in your life look like?
It's always different. I think now that the business is growing and I've got a little bit of a team behind me, my days look a bit different than what they used to, which is pretty cool. But it can be anything from going to content shoots or having days on the computer where I'm kind of grinding, doing back-end business things and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I do get out and about a lot. If the clients are local, I love to go and see them in person, or we're out and about 2 to 3 times a week doing content shoots and stuff. So that breaks it up, which is really nice. It takes away from the all day on the computer sort of thing, which does also happen. Yeah.
So you got 2 chickies with you now?
So we are a team of 4 now, about to be 5, which is so exciting.
Yes, queen! What the fuck?
So all the girls are subcontractors and they're working part-time hours. Yeah. Which then also gives them the freedom to pursue other creative pursuits because they are also creative and talented and amazing. So yeah, it's a really good setup at the moment, and I'm not sure kind of where it will go, but I think at the moment it works really well for me and the business, and then also for the girls. They can pursue other creative things like photography or graphic design on the side, as well as working for the business, which is pretty cool.
I do a little bit of research on engagement, and it seems like the recipe to engage is a mix of reels, scrollies, and stories. Is there a way to befriend the algorithm without doing the trending songs and text on videos?
100%.
There is fucking LMK.
You do it so well.
Do you reckon?
You do it so well. And it's about staying in your lane and being true to who you are and the message that you want to convey. Because I think if you do that, the more that you do that, the more your audience trusts you and they know what to expect from you, which is so important. It's okay to pivot and do things outside of your comfort zone, but I think having that consistency in your messaging and your brand and how you portray yourself online is so important.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of brands won't align with trends and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's good if you don't.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's cooler if you don't, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it means that you're more authentic and more creative and coming up with your own path and kind of, you know, if you can be a trailblazer in that, then that's pretty freaking cool.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Good feedback.
You do that well.
Thank you.
You really do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's your favourite part about working for yourself?
Being my own boss. It's pretty good. Being able to, I guess, create the life that I want to live. And having the balance. It can get a little bit blurry sometimes when things are hectic and it's really busy and there's a lot of self-discipline to be had. Being able to have that freedom to, if I wake up in the morning and I'm not feeling great, to have a slow morning and start work at 9:30 or 10 o'clock and listen to myself and kind of be able to give myself the freedom to create that life. When you work the 9 to 5, there's so much pressure to just be on all the time. I can kind of pick and choose when I am feeling really good and I'm feeling motivated and I'm driven and I can really apply myself and pick those times to work on particular tasks that kind of need that masculine energy to be driven. But then knowing that when I'm not feeling like that or when I feel slow and in the feminine energy, then I can work on more creative things or, you know, realigning visions and that sort of stuff that feels good at that point in time, and there's no one really to tell me when or how to do it.
That's epic.
So that's pretty cool.
That's fucking mad.
Yeah.
And what's been your proudest moment as a business owner?
The earlier days were probably more proud moments, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they're the biggest days because you're bringing it to life.
Even before social fever was a thing, when I was just freelancing, it was like getting my first client or getting my first photo shoot and doing that stuff that was like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing this. This is so cool. It's so unfamiliar. And we tell ourselves stories that we can't do things sometimes. So when we back ourselves and we put in the hard work and then we get there, like that's a really great feeling. I would like to stop and smell the roses a bit more, I think.
Yeah, I fucking could do that too myself.
Yeah. Yes. You're like, okay, cool, that was amazing. On to the next thing.
Literally.
I think when I hit 1 year of launching Social Fever, that was a cool feeling. And looking back to 12 months ago, it was just me doing everything, and now I've got this little team that are helping me, and we've grown our clients so much, and the vision and the mission has become clearer over time too.
Yeah, you always did it properly. I get emotional over like everything, by the way. It's just pride.
I know, it's so nice. Well, you did the shoot for the launch, the very first one that I did. That was so cool.
How good. Fuck, that was a time ago. Hey?
It was,
Crazy.
yeah.
Do you have any advice for someone wanting to start their own business?
It is so much about what you tell yourself you can do.
Yeah.
And if you tell yourself you can do it, you absolutely can. So if you want to start your own business, I would say be open to learning new things, because that's a huge one.
Yeah.
And be open to new opportunities, say yes to things.
Yeah.
Listen to your gut, because that is such a big one. Listen to your instincts. You will automatically know what's right and what's wrong and what's going to take you down the right path. Find a niche.
Yeah.
Understand your brand.
Understand your brand. Fuck, I need to understand my brand a little bit more. Noted. Do you ever want to burn social media and all things web to the ground?
Fuck yeah. I try to stick to this saying, create more than you consume.
Yeah.
Because you can get so caught up in scrolling and consuming and comparison. I think when you get caught in that as well, it is really easy to lose your way and try and think that you have to do what other people are doing. Yeah. So if you're creating more than you're consuming, you're really clear in your messaging and all that sort of stuff.
You just purchased and moved into your own little home.
I did. Thanks, Kathy.
Yes. How did it feel to make that investment off the back of your hard work?
Very rewarding. It's been pretty prevalent in the last 6 months, I would say, that I now make more than I would make working in a full-time job. or what I used to anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rewarding to be able to save money and work towards financial goals off the back of something that you created yourself.
Yeah.
Little proud moment to think I don't have to go back to a 9 to 5 now.
Yes.
Like,
that's fucking amazing.
Maybe I will. I don't know. The options are open and I don't know what the future holds. But if I can continue doing this and kind of set up my life the way that I've been working for the past year, even though it's really hard, it's also so rewarding. So I find it's worth it, definitely.
Yeah, that's mad. Is your partner supportive in your creative ventures?
Yeah, he's great. He is a logical, realistic person, which is good because he's very grounded. Yeah. Alistair will say this, I tend to live in my head. And I need to try and get into my body a bit more. Yeah. But no, he's like very supportive, just a great person, very loving, very caring, not one bit intimidated by the woman biz energy.
Fuck yeah.
The girl boss energy, not intimidated by that at all, which is pretty cool because I think subconsciously a lot of men are. But nah, he's my biggest fan.
What a king. I don't know if this is too personal, but I was curious. What does the Love You and Cobb share feel like?
It feels safe. It feels like home. It feels like the kind of, grounded energy that my personality needs. Yeah. It's a really good, I guess, balance for that. I don't know what he'll say about that.
He's super consistent though.
He's so consistent, and I'm not. I'm a big ebb and flow of emotions, and I feel things pretty deeply. So it's nice to have that safe home feeling within a person. Yeah. Which I never really had before. So. Yeah.
I feel like in the younger years you don't run to safe, that's for sure.
You run to like chaos and craziness and like overwhelming feelings and love bombing. Yeah.
I loved the crumbs, eh?
Yeah. Feed me the crumbs. I'm on a diet.
Literally. Fucking hell. Do you have a process for moving through uncomfortable emotions?
Yeah, that's something that I'm continuously working on. I am doing a lot of work at the moment around getting out of my comfort zone. So, there's that. Also another cliche saying like, nothing ever grows in the comfort zone. But it is so true.
So true.
I have noticed even just recently that when things come up for me, I tend to sit in it for a bit. I'm not sure whether it's a healthy amount or maybe it's too much, but I definitely get to this point where it's like sitting in it, wallowing in it, a little bit of self-pity, a little bit of oh poor me vibes until the switch just flicks and then it's like, okay, get the fuck up, help yourself, do something. And then once those feelings come, it's almost like endorphins.
Yeah, fully.
And then that's, I think, when I can start to move through things. Yeah. I think if I try and start that like straight away, maybe I'm in a place of being too emotional.
No, I feel that.
I don't know if that answers the question.
No,
but
beautifully. Yeah, it's an interesting one, that sitting and wallowing and being like, am I choosing this suffering or is this like the things I need to feel? I haven't wallowed in like a month.
That's so good.
My period's coming in like 12 days, so we'll see.
That's so good, yeah.
We'll see if we wallow.
It's always around that, isn't it? Oh, the luteal phase. And
yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Are you 31 now?
I'm 31, yeah.
Holy demon. I was going to say how is 30 feeling, but how is 31?
31. 31 feels good.
Yeah.
31 feels better than 30 almost, because I
Vibes.
think there was this like stress leading up to 30.
Yeah.
This kind of pressure of I should have achieved certain things. But yeah, now 31. Sits good, feel comfy.
Yeah. What's the biggest lesson you feel you've had to learn maybe over and over again in life?
What a question, Kavi. This is like, I guess, digressing a bit from the theme of the chat, but it's probably around body image and how people perceive me and fear of judgment, I think, from others.
Yeah.
I mean, that comes up in work and business as well. Fear of judgment is a
Yeah.
huge one.
Bro, if you're online.
I guess it all comes down to what you think of yourself, right? I know that when I'm feeling good and when I'm thriving and I think that I look good or I feel good in myself, and then that projects to the outside, and then I don't really care about what other people think.
No.
Obviously, I care about what my close circle of community think of me
Yeah.
in a productive way
Yeah.
and out of like love and wanting constructive criticism, but
Yeah.
the people outside of that not caring what they think, I think is like so important.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to practice.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that is definitely a continuous thing of always working on that and putting forward your most authentic self rather than what you think other people might like of you. Yeah.
Truth.
Preach.
Preach, sis.
Preach.
Has there been any hard lessons that you've had to learn in business? Doing your taxes on time.
Get a good accountant. Just get a good accountant.
Yeah.
It will take so much stress.
What will your biggest focus be when you enter motherhood? Are there any core values you aim to instill into your kiddies from the get-go?
Core values would be encouraging them to be themselves. Yeah, obviously a child's innocence is something that you just want to hold on to forever. So learn from them as well, like learn how to be innocent and childlike and playful. Yeah, it would be pretty cool as well to be a mum, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To like have little mini you.
Yeah. You and Cobb.
Crazy.
It's going to be a fun baby.
Adventure is something that also I feel that I have these kind of like plans like, oh, when I'm a mum, I want to do this and that. And that's also a reason for having my own business is to create freedom around when the time comes that Jacob and I want to have a family, is that I have freedom to spend time with them and be adventurous and travel and do all of that stuff while still having an income. We'll see how that goes. We can check back in a few years.
Lol. And do you think social media will continue to be a huge thing in the future? Or do you think there's a potential for it to die?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think about this a lot.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some form of online connection, and obviously sales and all that money and stuff comes into it. Also a reason for why I think that I want Social Fever to be really well known as a brand strategy agency, because that's something that won't get taken over by AI, and that's something that will always be prevalent with businesses is telling stories and making connections and all that sort of stuff. And
Do you have a favorite platform?
Pinterest.
Cute. Pinterest.
I love
it feels
Pinterest.
Healthy.
It feels like my little safe creative place to scroll that isn't as much detrimental
it's not
to the mental health.
Yeah.
It feels like looking up garden inspiration or fashion or so many other things that kind of spark creativity, I think. But I am finding a love for TikTok lately. The niches on there are pretty insane.
True.
You can think of the wildest thing and you will find a page that is just doing that, which is pretty cool. When are you going to get the TikTok kicking off, Kathy?
I don't know, bro.
I feel like your content would be great on TikTok.
Being rogue.
Yeah, being rogue.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want.
Might have to. But no, that's the end of the cues. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you killed it.
Honoured.